He did it with ease and pulled away for his second major victory of the season. Now he'll have to see if he can translate it into a Nextel Cup championship. A later start meant fans sat through the height of the afternoon heat to cheer on their favorite driver. Allstate provided fans for about 50,000 spectators. The first aid stations were busy throughout the day treating race fans, and ambulances raced across 16th Street during the race. Well, before the wave of the checkered flag, those who couldn't take the heat much longer headed home.
We enjoyed it, just opening ceremonies and about a half a race. That's about all we could take.
Why?
The heat.
It's just really too hot. It really is. I've probably lost about 5 pounds just walking.
The Indianapolis Motor Speedway reports treating about 250 race fans for heat-related injuries during Sunday's race.
Your Indianapolis Colts will brave the weather again as training camp continues in Terre Haute. Coach Tony Dungy feels camp has been a success so far.
We've worked hard. I think our veteran leaders have really demonstrated to the young guys how to do things. We've had some young guys that have looked good and come on, but more than anything, I just like our approach and our atmosphere and the way we're working.
So here's a look at today's schedule. Practice begins a little later this morning, 8:30 a.m., followed by special teams. They hit the field at 3:30 this afternoon. If you're driving to Terre Haute or anywhere for that matter, keep an eye on gas prices today. They might be going higher. That's due to oil woes in Alaska. Half the production on the state's North Slope is being shut down after BP Exploration Alaska discovered severe corrosion in a Prudhoe Bay oil transit line. BP says after the shutdown, output will be reduced by 400,000 barrels each day. That's close to 8% of U.S. production. How many Hoosiers have made it in Hollywood?
This morning, Dick Wolfsie found the perfect guy to answer that question.
Can't remember when I didn't have an affair with the movies, you know, because I grew up in the 30s and 40s, and that was a fortunate time because, as you well know, that was the golden age of motion pictures. And, you know, you went to the movies like 3 times a week. And, of course, then you saw double feature, a cartoon, a newsreel, and a serial.
Movie buff and Ball State professor Dave Smith has seen a lot of double features in his life. But he kind of did a double take when he noticed something while doing a TV show.
At Channel 8. When I started my When Movies Were Movies series in 1971, I began researching and writing and doing, you know, the hosting job myself, and it ran for 10 years. Well, during those 10 years, I kept coming across more and more Indiana people, and I thought, well, this is interesting.
So interesting, in fact, that his life's passion is now the ultimate coffee table book for popcorn lovers.
And one of the first things I did was to put up a website. So I had a whenmoviesweremovies.com, which I still do, and HoosiersInHollywood.com.
The Hoosier connection is apparent for many big stars, but Smith admits he was surprised by the number of Hoosiers he didn't even know about, including one man who made a big impression, literally, in Hollywood.
I had absolutely no clue that Sid Grauman of the famous Grauman's Chinese Theater in Los Angeles was from Indianapolis, Indiana.
But why should Indiana natives have made such a contribution?
And in the early days, we were literally the crossroads of America, and the national road coming through here, and so medicine shows and vaudeville shows and all kinds of entertainment came through Indiana.
Dave Smith still loves movies, but he believes that the 30s and 40s is when movies were movies.
We had some problems over in Europe during those years, and so people fled Europe, and that included many movie makers, stars, directors, behind-the-scenes people. So where did you go in the world if you wanted to make movies? You went to Hollywood. For sheer concentration of genius, Hollywood in the 30s, 40s knew no equal.
And who did end up going to Hollywood from Indiana? Tomorrow we'll take a peek inside Dave's book. I'm Dick Wolfsie for 24 Hour News 8.
Good to see Dave. Of course, former Wish TV employee, as Dick showed us, and also a big professor at Ball State University. Oh. And that's where I got my master's degree. I know Dave well. And Dick says once you pick up the book, you cannot put it down. However, picking it up is the problem. It contains almost 10 pounds of great pictures and stories.
Good collector's item there. Hoosiers in Hollywood is available at all bookstores and online. And we want to let you know that tomorrow, part 2.
Can't wait. Sneakers are the most important part of workout equipment.
After 8 on the early show, how to choose the right fitness shoes for you.
And forecast a Viper indicating some thunderstorms back out across parts of Illinois, across extreme western Indiana.